What was the real deal for Growing Pains? I mean, here you are on Growing Pains. It's a big break. What happened?
Well, that was the show that made me famous. However, what really made me famous is the fact that I had showed off my hooters, my cooter, and my pooter.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny now is like literally there's no difference between probably what you did. By the way, I've actually never seen any of your Playboy stuff because once I started working with you, I couldn't do it. But knowing Playboy, it probably wasn't any different than some hot girl Instagram ad. There really wasn't any pornography. It was just a pretty girl with no clothes on.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how do you, yeah. So,
yeah. I'm not ashamed of any of it. People always come at me and it's like, I don't know what it is. I'm not apologizing for anything I've done in my past. It's like, it's what I did. It's like, it was just part of my career and what I was doing at the time. I was a model. I, of course, grew up in a small town and moved around my whole life. And I never even seen a Playboy until they asked me to be in one. When to be in it, I was living in Texas at the time, and they asked me Girls of Texas pictorial that they were doing, and then they asked me to be on the cover, and I shot a couple covers. I shot one in Chicago and I shot one in Los Angeles, and that was my first trips that I took for Playboy, and it was just part of my career. I was a model at the time.
So when you were asked, I mean, we'll get to Growing Pains in just a second. When you were asked to be in Playboy,
yeah.
I mean, obviously maybe you hadn't seen a Playboy, but had you heard of it? Did you know what it was? Did you know kind of what you were going to get yourself into?
I just knew that it was a magazine with naked girls. That's all I knew. I didn't know about it. And it was this local photographer that asked me to be in it. I had already shot photos with him and his wife who did the makeup, and I really liked them. They were really, really wonderful to me in my youth as a model. And they were the ones that asked me if I would be in it. And they showed me my very first Playboy. They showed it to me. I was like, let me go home and talk to my parents first, and see. And I went home, talked to my mom and dad about it. And immediately they were like, no, no, and then day, and I was like, okay, this is no. And then the very next day, they came back at me, and my dad was the one that set me down. And he said, look, it's not right for us to tell you what to do in life right now. He said, you're 19 years old. He said, you're going to have to go into the world and make it on your own. And if you do this, maybe you'll get to travel and do things that we can't give you. Maybe you'll make some money, things that we can't give you. And it's a career thing, and it's not right for us to tell you as a young adult. It's time for you to start making your own choices. We don't want you to do it, but if you do it, then we just want you to know that we'll support you. And that's what happened.
It's the Patrick Labyorteaux Show. Patrick Labyorteaux. He's the one you gotta know.